Here we are, Brown and Brown, and we are back here. Where are we at, Ed Brown?
We're in the center of America.
Well, that doesn't show you us in Central America. All right, it could be in
not
Guatemala.
Central America, center of America,
All right.
which is the port, which is where we send and receive goods, all sorts of nice things for our homes and our bellies. And this is it right here. This is the port of center of America in Granite City.
Oh, it's America's port.
That's right.
And a couple tidbits. One is $1.1 billion worth of commerce comes through this particular area every year. Now that's a big fact.
There's money in the air, people. This is where it all comes down. So they ship grain, they ship soybeans. It's just a cornucopia of goodies for America coming out of this port here. Now let me tell you who is behind this.
Oh, wait a second here. You're talking too much. Let me talk a little bit here.
You talk too much. You're going to go with the same old stuff.
Hey, proceed.
You're getting a little tired of it. People want to hear me for a change. Okay, so here we go. Congressman Melvin Price was the guy. He started all this back during World War II. Congressman Price, when I was growing up, he was the congressman from this part of Illinois, from the Metro East. Yeah, I think he was congressman for over 50 years.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, he was here forever and ever. And what happened was in the 90s, the Army closed a whole bunch of bases after the Cold War ended. They decided they didn't need all the different bases. This was one of them. They decided, well, we don't need a base in Granite City anymore. Aren't too likely that the Russians are going to invade Granite City. So they decided, okay, let's give it to the people. And Congressman Costello, Jerry Costello, who's a great guy, I see him all the time. He loves Fairmount Park, as do I. And I was having lunch the other day, and he came up and with his wife and patted me on the back. So he's a wonderful person, but he was the man. He came in here and he said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to turn it into a mixed-use facility where we're going to have condos and townhouses and golf courses and just nice stuff for the people of Granite City. Okay, now you can talk.
Oh, the golf course closed, unfortunately.
Well, that happens. You know, people aren't playing golf like they used to.
But anyway, we got the barracks still here, and in World War II, if you're standing right here, you're on an Army base camp.
That's
and
right.
I got to tell you, a lot of those men, they got shipped off, never to come home. So big salute for all our veterans, because there are a lot of them that came through right here where we're standing, and yeah, some of them didn't come back.
It was a very secure base. When you came in by car, you had to show your pass, and if you had no business here, they didn't want to let you in. But now it's open. You can, you know, walk around.
And the Army base, I mean, the barracks are still here.
Yeah.
I mean, we're looking at them right here.
And turned them into other, you know, housing. And, it's well maintained, you know.
Oh, my goodness, yes, meticulous.
Yeah, yeah.
But $1.1 billion worth of commerce comes on in here every year. I thought that was pretty interesting. I mean, to tell you, that was that's an interesting fact. And but it's a beautiful day here in Granite City. This is considered Granite City.
It is. Yeah, Route 3 is right over our shoulders here. That's the big road that runs through here. It comes from, what, it goes all the way up to Alton, right?
Yes, that's true.
And then down through Granite, and then if you keep going, you'd be in Venice, then Brooklyn, then East St. Louis, and
National City?
I don't think National City's there anymore, no. It used to be the stockyards, yeah.
That's true.
Those animals are long gone.
We were thinking about going to the stockyards, but it's all decimated and everything.
Yeah,
it's like
so
a nuclear bomb was dropped on it or something.
Yeah, it's all been torn out for the bricks and steel and whatever they could get out of there.
Now, you used to work for a judge around here.
I did. We're going to go see that.
Oh, you want to go in front
I do, just to, you know, show where I started my legal career, where this genius legal mind began.
I'll be the judge of that.
Ah.
Well, anyway, from Granite City, we're going to continue onward in Granite City, and we're going to see Ed's old haunt.
Yes, one of them.
One of them. All right, well, from Brown and Brown, from Granite City to a new location. Don't turn the channel either. We got much good things coming on.
Yeah, there's nothing else on anyway. So.
All right, wait a second, I beg your pardon. Wheel of Fortune at 3 o'clock.
Seinfeld rerun we've already seen 20 times. Might as well watch us.
Well, there are some nitty-gritty programs.
Yeah, well.
Who's My Baby?
They don't need to watch those.
All right. Well,
yeah, we're a lot more entertaining.
Anyway, we will
Dan's
be back.
going to do his airplane thing. Okay, here we go.
And don't turn the channel.
Okay, we're Brown and Brown signing off.
And here we are still in Granite City, Illinois, and we're in front of Amstead Row. And Amstead Row makes all the undercarriage for boxcars. And if you look behind us, you can see what it's like to have all these mechanisms. So when you see a train roll by, you'll think of Amstead Row. How's that sound?
Yeah, it's part of a whole complex of factories in Granite City that were built around the turn of the last century, around 1900. And this was a central location. It wasn't far from the major rail centers of East St. Louis and St. Louis. And the immigrants came to the east side here, a lot of Armenians, Hungarians, Poles, and they became the workers who manned these factories. If you walk around, you'll see their little houses that they built, which didn't seem like much now, but at the time, you know, to have your own house instead of a tenement somewhere was a huge step up in life. And so they created their lives here, and then the next generation they educated, and they got them into more professional positions. And a lot of the future lawyers and judges and people who worked in those professions, doctors, were from that next generation of, again, Armenians, Hungarians, Poles, Slovaks. And so a lot of the names you see reflect that heritage. And, but it all started here. These were where the jobs were. And it filled the hungry bellies of the kids and the grandkids.
And it's hard work, there's no question about it. I mean, but it's safety first, and that's paramount. And almost,
well, it wasn't then.
In the 1910, 1920s.
They didn't even have workers' comp back then. Yes. If you were hurt, the other workers would chip in and try to help you out as much as they could. They had workers' funds. That's really the start of the unions, came from these workers' funds that tried to provide for the injured men that could no longer work, for their families, tried to provide for their wives and children.
And if your father or husband was killed, then they take up a fund, and that was it.
Terrible. You see old pictures of these kids just running around with no parents, trying to sell newspapers.
Well, they had the orphanage here too. So we had the orphanage here, and there was one in Alton. I think there was one in Belleville as well.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of orphans, and the reason being is because there are so many diseases too, typhus and cholera and everything else. And if you got it, it's almost like the plague. You're going to die.
I think life expectancy was 50 years.
Probably.
Yeah. It was.
What is it now? 52?
It should be
75. Yeah. But anyway, it's a beautiful.
You got about 2 more years.
Jeez. Well, it's a beautiful day out here in Granite City, and we're going to do more in Granite City because there's a lot of places to see.
And hi to the people who work at.
Yes, Amstead.
Amstead.
I agree. And we got your back
right
covered.
Behind you.
All right, off we go to a new location. But don't change the channel. We're still here. Hurt in a car wreck or hurt on the job? Call Brown & Brown now for a risk-free consultation. In Missouri, dial all 3s. In Illinois, dial all 8s.
Questions? We'll answer them for you, risk-free. At Brown & Brown, we'll fight for you and your legal rights.
We only get paid if you collect. So if you've been injured in a car wreck or hurt on the job, call Brown & Brown now. In Missouri, dial all 3s. In Illinois, dial all 8s.
And at Brown & Brown, if you can't come to us,
we'll come to you.
Since we were in Granite City, figured you might as well stop off and see where I started my brilliantly special legal career. It was right here on Niedring House in Granite.
A bit presumptuous, but go ahead.
Well, I clerked for an appellate court judge named Moses Harrison back in those days, and our job was to write the opinions. The judges would tell us which way they would decide on a case, and we would get the briefs from each party and try to make it as intelligent, make the opinion sound as intelligent as possible. And yeah, I was a young lawyer. You know,
making good money. I mean,
for real good money, yeah. For a freshly minted grad, I was really surprised at how much they paid us. I would have worked for a lot less. Let me put it that way.
You know, going from $4.10 an hour to upwards of $30,000.
Right. Actually, have money in your bank account was that was a feeling like no other.
Did you only get paid once a month though? Wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. It wasn't very often. So by the end of the month, you were starving. Everybody in this audience, at some time or another, has had something bad happen to them. They've gotten knocked to the ground. And guess what? The ones that really matter are the ones that have gotten up and decided, hey, I'm not gonna. This isn't me. I'm gonna go forth and I'm gonna do better. And that's what I did.
Perseverance.
Perseverance.
That's what you have to do. So the law office has changed the name, and Ed, I think you're owner of this now, or who's
a tattoo parlor? Yeah, I got the big scales of justice right here on my chest.
I mean, going from a law office to a tattoo parlor, do you think there is much renovation between the two? I don't know.
I stop in here when I'm in Granite City, and at one time there was nothing in there.
Okay.
So I'm glad to see downtown Granite's coming back.
That's true. Good point.
There's a music store. There's
a bookstore right around the corner.
A coffee shop. Cinema. A movie theater.
That's it.
Yeah. So
this is a happening place to be, Granite City.
Things have picked up. Granite City fell down and it picked itself up, and guess what? It's doing better than ever.
Just like your livelihood as a clerk.
Just like me, you know.
All right.
I got kicked. I got put down and kicked, but I got up and I fought. And so.
Well, who'd you fight?
I fought everybody.
Society?
Society.
Come on. What are you going to do?
Fought them all. Took them all on.
I fought the law and the law won.
Yeah, I fought the law and the law lost.
Law won.
So.
Who was it? John Mellencamp, wasn't it?
No, I fight authority. Authority always wins.
Oh, okay.
That's John Cougar.
All right, well, close enough. I'm glad you corrected me, because I have all these calls. Don't you know the difference between John Mellencamp and
Good thing you got a human Wikipedia standing next to you.
Well, I beg your pardon. I think there's a lot of knowledge up on here somewhere.
A lot of air.
Air?
Yeah.
Air, nothing. All right, so where are we going to go from here?
More granite.
You know what we're going to do? How about this American Steel?
Yeah, it's right next to us.
American Steel. A big shout out to all the union workers in Granite City. And if you ever need a lawyer, 333-3333 in Missouri and 888-8888 in Illinois. Don't forget those numbers. It's confusing sometimes for people. I don't know why.
Call us when you can.
All right. Adios for the time being.
Hi, I'm Ed Brown, attorney at Brown & Brown. A lot of people have asked me why I wear an eye patch. Well, when I was young, I hurt my eye, and that's why I wear a patch. I know what it is like to overcome a lifelong injury. So if you've been hurt in a car wreck, on the job or elsewhere, give Brown & Brown a call. In Missouri, dial all 3s, 333-3333. In Illinois, dial all 8s, 888-8888. And remember, at Brown & Brown, if you can't come to us, we'll come to you. The backbone of America was built right here. One of the biggest steel factories in America. Everything you see around you built with steel, a lot of it was built right here. The Arch, Empire State Building, Sears Tower in Chicago.
The American cars we drive.
The cars we drive.
American cars.
The railroads that the cars come in on. All of it built with this steel right here.
That's it. And U.S. Steel has been around here for, I think, over 80 years, if I'm not mistaken. And
longer than we've been alive.
Well, that's true.
But now our fathers worked here, a lot of our grandfathers worked here, and a lot of our friends worked here. Yes. They would commute in from, we grew up in Spanish Lake, they would commute in from North County, and they would work here at the factory. And paid well. Those were really good jobs.
You know, one thing I remember is that living in Spanish Lake, we had pollution. I mean, literally when it started getting dark at night, you'd feel the pollution from U.S. Steel.
Well, sometimes you could see the glow from the factory over here.
But anyway, I shouldn't say pollution. It was some whatever.
The smell of money.
Well, that's true too. The smell of money. But anyway, we were very fortunate to have this steel plant because there's a lot of jobs that it creates.
Yeah, these are really good jobs.
Yes.
These are the kind of jobs you want. These pay good money.
Not like my job at Sambo's restaurant when I was making $2.90 an hour.
And you were lucky to get it.
I almost got fired. No, I
Should
never
have gotten
did.
fired.
Hey, wait a second here. No, but no, that was. And then Buddy was his name. God bless you, Buddy. And he was our manager.
Yeah.
And
Buddy, if you're out there, give him a call.
That's true.
Dan, I'd love to hear from you.
All 8s or all 3s. But I always remember that I had overtime one night, and then Buddy called up and said, Dan, we're going to give you the night off because he didn't want to pay the overtime, the extra $1.20 or something like that. But my brother Ed here worked at
Taco
Sambo's.
Bell. I worked there for like 2 days. I got fired. I actually did. I didn't like it. I think it showed in every muscle of my body.
So what was the difference between Sambo's and Taco Bell?
They made me an assistant manager at Taco Bell. I guess yo habla español.
So my brother's assistant manager, so I go on in there thinking he's going to do some managerial. I see him mopping the floor, for goodness sakes. And I'm like, well, wait a second here. I thought you were assistant manager. Well, this is part of my job description.
Just a title. Yeah, just they kick you upstairs.
Brown, lift those chairs up better and scrub.
The thing is, you work for a salary. You don't get an hourly wage anymore. So
that's true.
If nobody else is there, guess who gets to come in and work?
Well, the temp workers, I guess. What could you?
Well, no, the managers would get called in. Yeah.
Oh, I remember one of the things my buddy did at Sambo's, if somebody called in on a Friday night and said I'm sick or something, he was smart. An hour later, he'd call up the person, and the father would answer, and the father, of course, would say, "No, he said that you gave him the day off." And then all of a sudden, we'd have him come on in. It was just like the passage of death. Comes in, sits down, and Buddy would say, "You're fired. I can't deal with that," which is true. I mean, to tell you, you got to be dependable in any job. Wouldn't you agree?
A lot of these restaurants, I have some friends who manage restaurants now, and a lot of times they just ghost on you. The employees don't even call. They just, you never hear from them again.
The good news is
world.
We got a good economy.
Right now, it's a good economy.
The not so good news is people don't want to work for $2.90 an hour like I did.
No, they don't.
Well,
but this is a good job here. If you get on at the steel company, steel mill, this is the place.
That's it. No question about it.
If you work hard.
So we're going to
go
from
your pay.
We're going to go from here to eat some ice cream. I don't know why. I always, the little 8-year-old boy in me comes out when it's about ice cream time. What do you think?
Yeah, it's summertime, so time for a scoop or two.
All right. Well, from U.S. Steel onward, don't change the channel. We got good things coming up.
They could change it if they want to.
Ah, no, don't ever say that. This is invigorating television, for goodness sakes.
You might see a cartoon you like. I mean, why not,
We spent a lot of money making it.
Change it for a minute and then change it back. We'll be here.
All right, well, from here to there to ice cream, adios for the time being. All right. At Brown & Brown, our phone numbers are easy to remember. In Missouri, dial all 3s. In Illinois, dial all 8s. So if you've been in a car wreck or hurt on the job, call Brown & Brown for a risk-free consultation.
At Brown & Brown, we'll give you the personal attention that you deserve. We only get paid if you collect. So if you've been in a car wreck, hurt on the job, call us now for a risk-free consultation.
In Missouri, dial all 3s. In Illinois, dial all 8s.
And at Brown & Brown, if you can't come to us,
we'll come to you. Hello, we're still in Granite City and we are at the world famous Mr. Twist. And we have, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Felicia, owner of Mr. Twist. 42 years we've been here in business.
Well, tell us a little bit about your what kind of ice creams you have.
Okay, well, we've been doing this, my mom and I, my father, for 42 years. We make our own raspberry sherbet, our own orange sherbet, butter pecan ice cream, peach ice cream. We have different flavors every day, and we make them ourselves. We're well known for our sherbets.
And how long? It's 42 years?
42 years.
Oh my goodness. Any thing that pops up that in 42 years you're like, wow, I didn't see that coming?
Yes. There's been amazing watching people grow up, and the time goes by fast, and amazing customers I have. I have the best customers ever.
you have grandchildren are coming now whose grandparents were kids when they used to come here.
Yes.
And we're right in front of Wilson's Park in Granite. Woo. People are having some fun out here.
Yes.
Anyway, Wilson's Park is right here, and it's a very pretty city park. Tennis courts. Does it have a skating rink still? Or did
yes,
it
used
to? Yeah, it has an ice skating rink in the winter. It's a pretty place, and when you've had enough, when you've been out in the park long enough, you come over here, I got a chocolate malt. This is the tastiest thing I've ever had in my life. Dan got, what'd you get, an ice cream cone?
Just ice cream cone.
Yeah.
Well, we're right here
really
at 27th and Madison. So, if you're ever in the area, get a Mr. Twist. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree, and we also have barbecue too as well.
Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
Yes.
But you know what is? It's kind of neat. Some of our fans, I don't know what am I supposed to do. But a little girl about 4 years old came up and she's as happy as can be. Oh my goodness, it's just, I don't know, it just takes you back to a different era. But anyway, from Mr. Twist, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much.
We really appreciate
Thank you for coming down. Thank you.
good stuff.
Okay, we're still here in Granite City, and this is Wilson Park. And Ed, what can you tell us about Wilson Park?
Well, it's a great park. It's got a skating rink, it's got tennis courts, it's got a place for kids to play, swimming pool. And I played tennis here a lot with my buddy Jesse, who's a magician, not to be confused with musician. We weren't exactly Borg McEnroe, but we kept the ball going back and forth. And I still play tennis, still enjoy playing, getting out on a pretty day. And actually, I'd rather be doing that than this, to be honest.
Hey, wait a second here. You'd rather be with your brother, of course. And we're not far from Granite City High School. That's just in the background. And go Marching Warriors.
For you Warriors out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the Marching Warriors as opposed to the Warriors.
I think that's the marching band,
of course.
Marching
yeah,
band,
okay,
yeah.
we'll do. And then they have an ice skating rink here. And one of our employees told us that he remembers playing hockey in 1972. That's a long time ago. Do you ever do that when you have to do 72, 82, 92, 02? Now I get confused. 12, 22. That's a long time ago. Let's just put it that way. But be that as it may, we got a nice playground here, and there's a lot of very nice houses here. I was taken aback. I didn't know that. I always thought Granite City, you think of the shotgun houses, but I mean there's some beautiful homes along the park here and everything else. So if you're ever out and about, this is a place to go. And they have a swimming pool.
And Mr. Twist ice cream.
That's true too. That was very good. I gained about 2 pounds, but it's worth it. All right, so from where to here to here to where do we go?
Where we stop, nobody knows. Just
Well,
keep watching and you'll find out.
yes, we're not going anywhere, even though my feet are getting tired.
The audience isn't going anywhere. We are.
Yeah.
You can just stay in bed and watch us, or on the couch, or in a chair, wherever you happen to be.
I got the curse of having flat feet. And I got to tell you, people say, it's just flat feet, what's the big deal? You try stomping around Disney World or something like that for a day, my feet are barking, I mean to tell you. And they always give me these orthotics, and they say, this is going to work, because it'll push up your arch. All it does is I flatten it down within the next 2 months. Say this, if there's any doctors out there that can fix my feet, you'll be well compensated. I mean that. Right now my feet are barking too. I can't go around with, with bare feet or anything.
We'll get you a motorized wheelchair.
That's probably next on my list. I mean to tell you, I'll get one of those scooters first, and then after the scooter I'll move up.
I'll get a couple tennis balls from Wilson Park. We'll cut them in half, put them on the bottom of your little walker, and you can go down the street.
Well, give me another 10 years. Maybe that's going to be the case. But right now, I'll be discomforted by my flat feet. But all you flat feet people out there, you know where I'm coming from. It's not a lot of fun. But on a happier note, we're going someplace new. We're going to get it. And Ed Brown, look how excited he is. He is rumbling, ready to go, aren't you?
I can hardly contain myself.
All right, from here to there to anywhere. Bye. Here we are still in Wilson Park, and well, I wish we could have seen the skating rink, the ice skating rink, but behind us we got even better treat, and that's a big old jet fighter, and I have no idea what kind of plane that is. If anybody's out there and says, oh, that's an F-14, let me know, but it looks like it's had its better days, and I like it how they propped it up and everything. And, oh well, life is good. We got Granite City Park District here, and everybody's been very, very nice to us. And now I have to join my brother Ed again. He wants to be in every frame, every little detail. I don't think he trusts me. I'm pretty trustworthy. I mean, how many other people would show your flat feet? I don't think there's gonna be too many people of that. Bear it all, that's what I say. Well, not bear it all, but just bear it. All right, adios from the Granite City Park District, and adios from Wilson Park and the big jet plane.